Right, listening to SoccerBallz, and we're about to speak to Brandon from Top Odds. He'll be giving us all the latest odds we could have. Brandon, how are you doing, mate?
All right, initial.
So cool. So we speak to you after now all of us are feeling pretty happy and funky in the studio right now. That's Bafana qualification tends to do that, especially when it's not automatic. Tell us, Brandon, from Top Odds. What topadds.com? I've got the site in front of me. What should I be looking at this week, Brandon?
Oh, obviously, if you don't mind, we'll start off with English Premier League.
Please do.
And the big game of the weekend, Arsenal versus Manchester United.
I thought you'd take me there initially. What are you thinking, mate?
Geez, Arsenal have been impressive in the Premier League. They always seem to grind out the win. Alan Bookmaker and World Sports Betting have Arsenal up at 14-10 at home. The draw is just under 2-1. And Man United are 2-1 with both our bookmakers. It's going to be a very close game. You'd expect Arsenal to win at home. Although, Man United's performances against Man City and Chelsea in the last couple of weeks have been good. I mean, they could have gone and beaten City maybe if they had 11 men on the field. So, it's very difficult here. I might just, as I say, and I always say this, watch in running and see where the value is.
Yeah, I think in running is the one for me, because looking at this, I mean, before the game, to be honest, Brandon, I just don't know. I mean, I'm a neutral as well with these two sides, and both sides have pulled off in their own special ways some calamitous moments defensively, and you know that both sides on their day could probably beat anyone in the league, including themselves. So I'm like, it's like almost any result is possible for me for this. This could be like 3-1 Man United for me. It could be 3-0 Arsenal. I think I'm going to have a look in running at this game.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't know. And to put your money down before they kick off is a little bit risky. And there's not much value. I mean, 2-1 Man United might be a little bit of value. But I'm not going to be throwing my money into that fixture just yet. But if you had to pick a winner, let's take money out of it. Who would you pick, Sean?
If I had to pick a winner, mate, jeez. No, I think I've got to say Arsenal. I think.
Well, that doesn't go down well in my book. Okay, I'll listen to what you have to say there. Yeah, but I'm going to keep my money out of that one. So that's the big game in the Premier League this weekend. If you turn over to the PSL, obviously the game that stands out there is Kaizer Chiefs versus Sundowns. Our bookmakers, that's Alan Bookmaker. World Sports Betting have the Chiefs up at even money.
Even
this game, and Sundowns at 5-2. The draw at 22-10. So you put your money on Chiefs. You put $100 on Chiefs, you will get R100 back plus your stake. And I don't know if that's a bad bet, because I think Chiefs are playing well. Sundowns are the defending champions, but I put my money on Chiefs in this game.
Yeah, I keep, this season, I keep looking for the scenario when to bet against Chiefs, because there will be a moment where you cash in and get the value from betting against them. And ordinarily, you'd identify a fixture like this. But looking at Sundowns, I just don't think they have the team. Well, they have the players, but I just don't think they're playing the type of football where you can bank on them at the moment. So I think you're right. I think even money is, I think that's value for Chiefs.
Yeah, I think they'll win. I don't know what Sundowns' form has been like, but I just know that Chiefs very hard to stop at the moment, and that's where my money will be.
And it's massive as well, of course. I think the idea of it's too early to say over for the title race, but will be such a massive dent to Sundowns if they pull off the loss now. I think pull off Chiefs. I'll put a bit of money on that as well.
I think if Chiefs win this game, then they got 1 foot. The door, if you like to call it that, of winning this title. Because, who else can overthrow them? If you have a look at Pirates this weekend, Pirates are playing SuperSport United. It's an away game for Pirates.
Yeah.
That's on Sunday. SuperSport are at 14-10. Pirates at 2-1. So that might be a little bit of value. Bookmakers, they're fancying SuperSport to get a win over Pirates. I don't know what your thoughts are there.
Oh, that's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. Look, Gordon's got SuperSport flying at the moment as well. And they're on a confidence run at the Telkom knockout final, just been reached, and of course they beat them in Orlando in the semi-final for that. It's always funny how that seems. Football around the world, you beat someone in the cup, you play them immediately in the league.
Yeah.
So it's two sides that are already familiar with themselves. So I'm expecting a close game in that regard, in that the sides have just played each other. So they'll, it's often a rerun equals a close game when sides have done each other. But I don't know. Maybe we're back. And of course, it's been a bit disruptive at Pirates for certain reasons. Maybe this is the time just to back Gordon to do the job against Gordon and his players to do the job. I speak like Gordon's doing it alone, but maybe it's the time to back SuperSport to get another win over Pirates.
No, well, 14 to 10 is a little bit of value. If I was giving punters advice this weekend, I would say take the double SuperSport United and Kaiser Chiefs. It'll work out to about 4-1.
Nice. 4-1, backing Chiefs and SuperSport.
SuperSport United. So that's a little bit of value for our punters out there. And then, if we can just change our scope once again. I know you guys deal with SoccerBallz, but there are rugby balls that exist out there.
Yes.
And the Springboks are playing Italy this weekend.
Yes.
After a very spirited win against England. I think that scoreline was very, very flattering towards the English in that game.
Yes. I could write an essay how it flattered England.
The refs seemed to turn against us for 5 or 6 minutes in that game. And we really could have lost it from that point, but we came back to win. It took a lot from the boys to come back after that shoddy performance against Ireland to win at Twickenham. And now they take on Italy, where the bookmakers have the spread up at 19.5. So you're giving Italy 19-point start from kickoff. And I think South Africa will overcome that comfortably. Surely. I mean, I know that the coach has made a few changes. Trevor Nyakani gets his first start. And they're a good scrummaging side, Italy. But I think we'll win by 20.
I think so. Look, I think a lot of people might have been anticipating more changes from the Springboks as well, from the team that Heineke Meyer was going to name it. But in the end, there was just a couple of tinkering. So, I do expect the Springboks should back themselves for it to be quite a fluid performance on Saturday. I mean, there's a couple of question marks. I mean, just Kuni at tight head, perhaps. It could be a strong Italian scrum. Jan Goosen's first outing at fullback. But across the board, I mean, we've got settled combinations. And Italy have been playing pretty poorly from what I've been seeing.
Yes. I mean, Italy generally play poorly. But I'm excited about this Jan Goosen at fullback story. Let's see what he's made of. He's been injured. He's been out for a while. Vili needs a little bit of competition in that position. I'm not sure who's playing at fly half. I don't know if he's keeping Lambie there. Or
he's kept the Sharks boys at halfback. Reinach and Lambie will get to continue the good work.
And I've been impressed with this Reinach. I think Hoogart's not what we're looking for at the moment. His kicking game's not good enough. And I think just our power and pushing for places in the main team coming up to the World Cup, we should annihilate this Italian side. And I would advise punters to be on the minus 19.5. Which the bookies give you at 9 to 10.
I think so too. And yes, and the fact that the Springboks lost in the opening round is probably bad news for Italy still, even though the Springboks won last week, because if we went into this game having beaten Ireland and having beaten England, it might have been an idea to take the foot off the gas. You might have even have seen more experimentation from Heineke Meyer going into this game.
That's correct.
But now, I mean, the Springboks are still in a position where, beating England was great, but I think that Ireland win still hurts a bit. And they'll need to put in a big performance in a game like this just to ensure that the tour is a success. So I think 19 points. Yeah. I'm backing the Springboks every time.
Yeah, I think we'll win there. And then just one more game quickly. The side that beat us, Ireland, they take on Australia, who lost to France disappointingly. All the punters' money was on Baby Australia. Well, at least my money was when they lost to France. They now take on Ireland, the side that beat us. And there's really nothing in it. Alan Bookmaker have the betting up at 8 to 10, Ireland, Australia at even money. And WSB follow suit, so they are the bookies are in agreement here that Ireland should win it at home. It's very close in the betting. You can get Australia plus 1.5. I think Australia will bounce back, and I think they'll beat this Irish side, and they'll beat them well.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting fixture because one thing, there's been a bit of a resurgence with Irish form as well, but they haven't. But it's still to be tested where they've got the consistency on offer. And Australia have a very good record against Ireland as well. It always seems to be whenever Australia are in trouble on these tours, they managed to seem to get it back at 9. So yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I might have a sneaky punt in Australia myself, even though a lot of punters will just think, well, Ireland beat the Springboks and Australia look a bit haphazard, then I'm going to put money on Ireland. I think there's more to it than that.
We'll throw them into that double with Chiefs and Sundowns, and you're looking at about 8 to 1, 7 to 1. So that's a bit of value. And guys can put $100 and get a 700 rand return.
That's what I'm talking about. So back Chiefs, back SuperSport at home, or back a Springboks hiding in Australia, and you make loads of money in the bank. It's as good as one, quite frankly. Brandon, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Speak to you again next week, pal.
Cheers, bye.
All right. That was Brandon from Top Odds. I like the combo of Chief Supersport. I like that. So you do that combination. Chiefs even money, Supersport 14 to 10. Put that together 4 to 1. I'm going to be putting money on that this weekend. You're listening to SoccerBallz.